So I'm going to kick this off. Come on up a little tighter. And just say thanks for coming out here. In the midst of everything else that city government is challenged with, one of the first things people of this administration decided that we wanted to have an impact on was at least functionality and friendliness, business friendliness of specifically the downtown area or anywhere in the city where people are trying to do business. One of our challenges is certainly to deal with balancing a budget, providing public safety, meeting challenges of residential homeowners, but there's also a challenge and a commitment to city businesses to retain and create jobs. And one of the first things I noticed was that trying to do business downtown has all the challenges of every city. But we didn't need to complicate it further with antiquated parking meters and difficulties for businesses and for their customers to just find a place to park where they didn't have to run out and run in and get worried about getting hit with a ticket. And it's come to the point where there's too many tickets being given out downtown because the parking meters, if you don't get out there in time, and I've experienced it myself, you're going to you don't have enough quarters. In a time when you can pay your bills online, and with a credit card, you can have an app on your phone. People are chasing around quarters in order to meet the parking meters in downtown Bridgeport. Well, today marks a day when that's going to begin to end. And behind you, that I'm looking at, are the new. I'm standing right in front of the one I want to talk about. The new is a version of the new parking meters that we're having downtown. Now, you can still put quarters in these if you want, and if you're old like me, you might carry change around. But the new generation doesn't want to deal with coins and change. What they didn't want to deal with credit cards. They can just use a credit card and then use their phone app. If your time runs down, instead of running out of the courthouse or running out of a business where you might be, or Paul Tipinelli's office, you can just set through your phone, set the app to give you more time. On the accountability side for the city, if you leave, your arrival and your departure will be noted by the parking meter itself. So it has all the things that will allow us to be much more functional and business friendly. I'm going to have Gina talk about, she's kind of spearheaded the committee on this and made it happen. We kind of had a deadline of trying to get it done this month, which was very rapid. But before that, Paul Tipinelli's here. And I don't know, Paul, you've been around since the old meters were new meters when they had dimes in them. So I'd like to have you welcome you. Thanks for your help and support on this, and have you say a couple words.
Indian pennies.
Yes.
First of all, Mayor, thank you for your leadership on this issue and your aggressive approach to addressing the question of appropriate and reasonable and new parking opportunities in the city of Bridgeport and new parking management systems in the city of Bridgeport. Gina and I were talking a moment ago, and I brought to her attention the fact that in 1989, when I arrived at the Business Council, one of the first accomplishments that we put into place and are still quite proud of was the establishment of the Downtown Special Services District that's now ably managed by Mike Moore, who's behind us. And I was responsible in those days for putting the agenda together for the DSSD meetings. And in 1989, item number one on agenda number one of the Downtown Special Services District was the question of the problem of parking in downtown Bridgeport. So that's how long the city's been dealing with this problem. So for you to address this problem and come up with a creative 21st century solution and at least 21st century experiment, something you should be quite proud of. So the business community is pleased, at least the business community that I represent, that this is a majestic step in the right direction. I actually spent 15 minutes yesterday with Rob, with a tutorial. So he actually educated me about how this system works. And frankly, I just still don't understand it, but it's wonderful. So to put Bridgeport in the 21st century is something that the business community is thankful for, and we congratulate you for your aggressive approach to helping us address this problem. I hope it works. I'm confident that it will work, so our best to you in enabling that effort.
Paul, thanks. Let me give him a round of applause. Thanks, Paul. I just want to say one more thing before I turn it over to Gina and she moves through, I think, some of the important parts of how we got here and where we're going with it. But this is only one piece, and Paul, we really haven't had a chance to kind of meld our brains on this, meaning the business community, DSSD, and the city. But we want to create not just better parking at meters, we want to create better parking space downtown. I think it'll be more accommodating. I think we need a plan to do that. I think we want to finish some of the challenges we have downtown and build on some of the great businesses and that are down here. So this is a small step, but I think it's important and symbolic step of doing something. We wanted to do it rather quickly in the new administration as we work towards some of the bigger, more grandiose plans for the future of Bridgeport downtown. So Gina's worked hard on this. She's the deputy CAO for the city of Bridgeport. She was challenged or charged with how to make this happen in 6 or 7 or 8 months. They beat the time frame. They brought in some first-class operators. Laz, and I'm going to let her pick it up from here and introduce everyone that needs to be introduced. And then if there's any really easy questions, I'll answer them. If there's tough ones, she'll handle them. So let's give Gina a round of applause. Come on up, Gina.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out this morning to celebrate a very important day. This has been a long process, and I could not have done it without our selection committee. And I'm going to give you their names. It's John Rickey from Public Facilities, Tom Gaudet from the Mayor's Office, Ed Adams from the Mayor's Office, Ron Picacia from the City Attorney's Office. And if I've forgotten someone, it has been a long road, but I am so appreciative of everyone's support during this process. I would like to introduce also Rob Matthews from Municipal Parking Services. They are the company that manufactures the unit. Rob Matthews is here with us today. Also, Stathy from Last Parking. He is also here with us this morning. And so just to give a little background, the mayor actually mentioned it. There are many benefits to the new meters, such as credit card and mobile payment acceptance, and advanced warning for no parking zones, multilingual capabilities, and not accepting money during free or no parking periods. However, the biggest benefit to the new meters is their programming versatility, which will allow on-street parking to continue to grow with the city and with technology advances. So thank you very much for coming out this morning.
No, you sure? Yes, thank you. Positive. Yes, thank you. Those are our private sector partners, and on our public sector partners, we always have the strong support of our friends who work not only in city government, but for the state of Connecticut. And I have Ezekiel Santiago, state representative, and Representative Charles Stallworth. And I think at least Ezekiel wants to say a couple words. Come on up. I appreciate you being here and all your hard work.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to say that I am excited about this because I've gotten my fair share of parking tickets out here because I haven't been able to find any quarters. So from what I understand, you get advance warning if the meters is running out. You even have an opportunity to pay through an app if I'm not mistaken. And that to me is a convenience that I'm sure that is going to benefit a lot of people visiting the downtown Bridgeport. We want that visit to be a pleasant experience, and I think this will go a long ways to helping that. Thank you very much.
Just as my colleague Ezekiel has stated, I want to thank Mayor Ganim for his leadership and the entire team to put this together. And all of us would feel a certain level of comfort when we know now we can come and park downtown and not have to keep an eye on the meter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it. Our other partners at the DSSD, we appreciate all the hard work. Come on up, Steve.
Thanks, Mayor. Welcome everyone to downtown. It's great to have you. Thanks, Mayor Ganim, for your leadership, and Gina for doing all the hard day-to-day work and organizing the procurement of the technology. And we're looking forward to working with Rob and Stathy. The mayor's hit it right on the head. These meters will help improve convenience in downtown, and improve the parking environment, parking experience. But also, the mayor also made a crucial point. In downtown, we're going to be adding a number of several hundred residential units in the near future, and we're going to have more residents in downtown, more businesses, and this will help welcome them and make their experience great here. So I think it's a great step forward. And Mayor, thanks again.
Thank you. Thanks for all you do. I'm going to try one of the parking meters, but before I do, does anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
Is this going to be costing the city any money, or is this being paid for by the meter company?
Yeah, it's an interesting and I think a very favorable arrangement. As far as the details, Gene, you can get into them, but there's really no cash layout. You correct me if I go through this. No, why don't you come up? No cash layout, as I understand it, and there'll be a sharing of revenues beyond a certain point once the city meets its goal. I think in general terms.
We're still in the process of negotiating the contract with LAS and MPS. LAS will oversee the management of the equipment and will procure MPS to install all the meters. As far as right now, what we've been discussing is that MPS will install the meters at no cost, and once we have entered an agreement with them, they will be paid over the X amount of dollars baseline. So again, we're still under negotiations with LAS and MPS, so we will go into it further at a later date.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Timetable for installation, or are these just temporary installs?
These are, I guess you could, go ahead.
This is considered a pilot/showcase. So we're reaching out to the community to test them and to give some input as to how they work. And we've actually received many emails advising us of certain things that they'd like to see happen. So these will be installed for another week, I believe. They're just temporarily installed. And then trenching will begin possibly in a couple of weeks. Or we hope so.
Other questions? If not, I'm going to take the bold move and pull out my credit card. Who's going to show me?
One more time. There you go. Now slide your card in, or select the amount of time that you want. We'll say an hour. That's good.
Oh, it's already good. Okay.
Yeah. Put your credit card in and out.
Right way?
Yeah. Oh, and it's saying bad swipe. Let's try it. Try it again. There we go. Amex.
I got a whole bunch.
This. Okay. So now you just put a credit card in a meter. Some people want assurances that they paid, so they can get an email receipt if they want, or they can just hit done.
Right.
So if you've used your smartphone, you'll get a confirmation. If there's any doubt, you can see the time that's remaining, but if you have any doubt in your mind, you can walk
So an
around
hour
here.
and 15 minutes on it. We only put it for an hour.
Well, you hit the up arrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you added 15
Yeah,
minutes.
you did about 15 more minutes.
So if there's any question based on
Where
the
is he?
time, you can see the green light on the other
We're
side
going to
of
go to lunch.
the
You got
meter.
an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So nobody will get notice of this because our app's not it's not on the phone yet, right?
that's right.
But if my app was on the phone,
And you were in that cafe over there,
Yeah.
it would say, Mr. Mayor, your meter's about to expire. Do you want to add time, or
just yes or no,
yes or no?
and then how many times it'll give me options.
Up until the
15?
maximum time. If you, after 2 hours, you have to move your car based on city policy.
So can we change that? If say we want to get, because I think one of the biggest complaints
Yes.
is somebody goes to the courthouse, let's say like a lawyer, he goes in at 8 o'clock and he doesn't come out till 1 o'clock.
Right.
So those are the types of
I
things
think
where
that-
certain areas, especially, we might want to notice 4-hour meter or
It's all programmable.
Okay.
All to the city's policymakers.
yeah, that would be good. So we're just talking. So like I just put in here, right, for an hour and an hour and 15 minutes. So the maximum right now is set at 2 hours. I think that's the downtown meters. My 2 cents, whatever it's, well, my $1.15 for whatever it's worth is.
Sure.
You're in the courthouse and you're a lawyer, or you're in there for your own, and you want to be there all morning. We'd like to have, I think, this is where we'd like your input. What would people like? What would businesses like on the meters? What we have the ability to set them any way we want. You could set it for 8 hours.
Sure.
Do we want that or we don't? What's a good policy? Do you want that on certain roads or not? Do you want it to say could be set up to?
It's crucial.
Yeah.
Consistency is crucial.
Yeah.
And making consistency, making that message clear to the business community, and they'd like to see the turnover in the spots too. So 1 or 2 hours is key in downtown, particularly along Main Street.
And don't forget now, in addition to the business community interest, which Mike rightfully states, a lot of residents in downtown Bridgeport now also have to have input into that policy decision.
Can we make decisions that accommodate? We want to be accommodating. Sure. Look, it's a revenue source for the city, no doubt. But that's not the primary purpose.
Right.
The primary purpose is to be accommodating to business and residents. I mean, you have no meter here like this. Somebody's going to park there for days.
Right.
And then where are we going? That's
Right.
So somewhere between that. So we want your input, if we haven't given it already, on should the courthouse be something where a lawyer can go in and park for 4 hours? Are we good with that? Should in front of where someone lives, what's the situation there after a certain time? So,
And what you said is key, Mayor. People are coming from outside downtown, jury duty or any visiting a business. We want them to be able to pull up right in front of a business and easily access one of these spots. One of the first conversations you and I had was you would ask me, "Hey, where do you park in downtown?" 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't. Sometimes it's difficult. We have to improve that experience. And turning over the spots is key.
Okay. So whatever that input is, I mean, that's the important on going forward. We forgot the money and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But so that we're accomplishing our goal. We really helpful. I don't know how much of that you already have, Gina, but that was my thinking. Not for us to be counterproductive. I can't go to downtown Bridgeport because one of the 5 reasons if they want to complain shouldn't be because of parking or parking meters.
And we have many spaces in downtown. We have a lot of capacity in downtown. A lot of supply of spaces. It's managing those is the key.
Appreciate it.
These go a long way to doing it.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you.
Good job.
Anybody else? Questions, answers, ideas, credit cards you want to put in the meter? We can use the money. You're good for an hour and 15.
That time Cabaret going to pay for the dinner? That's on their ad. That's clever. I saw that. I don't.
Oh, you can advertise on here too, right?
Advertise, you can offer coupons, you can reward people for parking.
Yeah, that's good.
We have a relationship with Visa where if you use your Visa card and then you patronize a business on the street and you spend a certain amount of money, Visa will pay for your parking, or the Chamber of Commerce will pay for your parking. So we're trying to reward people
Chamber
for
of
parking.
Commerce will pay for what?
We're trying to reward people for parking,
Okay,
not punish them.
that's great. Well, thanks
Thank you.
again.
Thank you.